I'm such an activist in a way, somehow, for climate justice, also for human rights, and mostly for women and children's rights. And I use my music as a tool to express what I feel needs to be changed. So my name is Lydiah Dola. I'm a recording and performing artist. Yes, and I love art. I just love creativity and all that. I started music way back when I was a teenager. I think I joined the church choir when I was 12. And I was the youngest at that time, and I was singing with older people. Actually, the most funny thing is that I didn't even have a choir uniform because everybody else was an adult. So that's how I started singing. There's a guy called Richard Kasika. He used to have a studio, and there was Ben Gitau. They used to work together. Also, by that time, we were all now at this point, we were all in high school. So I went to the studio and I was like, I want to record myself just for me to listen to how it feels like when people sing, or how music feels like. So I went to the studio and I did my first ever recorded song. It was called Dala No. And after doing Dala No, I did it for me. But then my producer, Richard Kasika, then called me and said, why don't you do a video for this? This time everything is like you're just playing around. So I got a friend of mine who knew people in KBC, and actually it was low budget. We just did a video, So we went somewhere in Gong, we shot a video. And coming back, I actually did a Luo song. And coming back, my producer, Richard, told me, why don't you take it for KORA Awards? And I was like, what? You're crazy. That song? That's a Luo song. And he was like, yeah, let's take it. Because, we used to do everything. We used to rap. We didn't have a genre. We hadn't discovered ourselves. We just loved music. And you see, when you love something, you don't know, you don't have the professional background of it. So by this time, we still didn't realize who we were. So anyway, we did the video. And I took my video to poster. That time many people were taking their music to DHL. Sorry to mention the names, but these are big companies, courier companies. So I took mine to poster. And I remember my big sister was like, I didn't have money, a lot of money or whatever. I didn't care about money. I think it wasn't so much there. But I needed money to send my music for KORA Awards. So I had a nice phone. And I told my sister, I want to sell this phone. Actually, she's the one who bought it. And she was like, what if you don't win? But, those days I used to be like, I didn't mind a lot. I just wanted to do what I want to do. So I told her, I'll be glad at least I tried. Funny enough, the song was nominated for KORA Awards for the most promising female in Africa. And that's where it hit me. I was like, this is my first song. It's going for a big international stage and all that. So I went to South Africa, that red carpet treatment, limousine, sharing stage with big names like Lucky Dube, Awilo Logomba, Makoma themselves, Brenda Fassie, Nameless, if I can remember, was there, Chengabura, and the late Angela Chibaloza, So it was an eye-opener. So I would say my music, I'm actually just giving back to Africa, the sweetness of motherland. So I can do a song, like I have a song called Sweyadala. It's you being proud of where you come from. You're sharing with the world the sweetness of your motherland. That's the only way that you can be able to give them what you have.
Mimi nilizaliwa Mkenya.
And then coming back to Kenya, Kenya, I felt we still had something, especially after we went through the post-election violence. And then there's a lot of tribalism. But I felt like we should be proud of our diversity as Kenyans. And I was thinking, if we pick different ethnic groups, and probably form something out of it, or a festival. We are a rich country, only we don't know. Instead, we are using that as a weapon to hit on your brother, which I think has been brought by political forces. But with Kenya, that was the aim, to tell people, why are we fighting? Imekuwaje leo tukazozana tukagombana? I spent a lot in Dunia. I loved the feel. I was singing about the environment, which I like. I loved the guitars, the way my friend Toby played them. And then maybe I would say Lamo. I feel the two songs I usually feel a bit rich. One thing I'd say is that music needs patience and discipline. And these two things sometimes, are not so easy for us, especially discipline, because you need to practice. You need to kind of research more. Yeah. So the challenge, getting to know yourself. When you have nothing, you have no, let's call it, business aspect of it. You have the talent, but you don't know how to market it yourself. You don't know how to package yourself. You have no idea whether people package themselves. Those are challenges, yeah? And then two, definitely music is very expensive. You have to use money to make good music. So those are part of the challenges that I've had. And then three, I would say our Kenyan media plays what they want to play. We have a lot of good music, including myself. I have very good music, which I feel they can be played in Kenya. But then unfortunately, international market, they notice, or radios, they've noticed and they play it. So it's been also a challenge. Like, you work on something really good, but then getting it to radio stations is really, really not easy. Yeah, the lowest I've been there. There are those days you don't feel like writing. You feel discouraged. You come out with something, you feel it is really good, but then it dies. Like, you can kind of like invest in a song, spend a lot of money in a song, and the song is actually promising. You do your survey or research and you see it's promising. And then at the end of the day, you're like, it doesn't bring back whatever you had even tried to whatever you've used, to create it. And yeah, those have been lowest times in my career, a bit discouraging. Sometimes, like, I do have a band, so sometimes there are no like gigs, we are not singing anywhere, and you have bills to pay, those have been lowest. They've been like low. But the good thing is I've never gone like really down, deep depression, low. It's just been like low, but you balance. Most of my music is inspired by West African music. I really love Malian feel, the KORA feel. And then, internationally, I would love to sing with Dobe and Tracy Chapman. Totally love Tracy's lyrics and all that. And then locally, I would pick probably, there's this guy called Winyo. In Kenya, I think I would, Then there's a lady called Barbara Gwantai. We have Motinda. Okay, we're in the same genre. But then out of my genre, there's one particular guy that I really like, Calligraph Jones. I love his voice. I love his style. I love his maturity in music. I will be selfish enough not to mention that I've been totally mentored by, I would mention the Go Down Art Center, because they had programs for entrepreneurship in performing arts. And I was privileged to get this, to be part of the cohorts that were benefited from the program. And that way, part of what they taught was about music branding. It was a whole package of how to present yourself, how to present your music. It was an eye-opener because I was able to see the business part of it. And then another person I would mention, an institution, is the Alliance Française in Nairobi, because we had space. So that's where we would go and play guitars, just like Sauti Sol, actually. I think I met them. That's where I also met them. And it's a place where we will sit down and practice our guitar and meet other people. And then we have Roots International, who believed in me. They gave me spaces for big shows before I even believed in myself. Before I believed that I could do live in a crowd. And these people will will get me contracts and shows and call me for shows. It kind of gives you hopes. So you keep on working harder on your own. For now, I would say on your own. But then the connections with institutions was also really great. And maybe the last one was the Presidential Music Commission, because they gave us space for free to be rehearsing with the band. So these were like part of building yourself and strengthening your wall in music. So in future, let's say in the next 10 years, God willing, I would love to have a music empire. I would love to live in a home where I have my studio, I have my peace, I have my rehearsal space, I have my foam space. Actually, that is what I'm looking forward to in life. That's, if I get that, then I'll be peaceful. I'll be like, I did what I wanted to do in life. And it's all live, dream, sleep, eat music. That's all I want. I would like to encourage all women artists, not only all women artists in the whole field of art, the painters, sculptors, musicians, writers, filmmakers. Female artists are actually coming up right now, and I would like to encourage you to keep on doing what you like to do most. I know it's not easy to be a mother and you're an artist and you're taking care of your children or your home, but I'm so glad that right now we have spaces for women artists in all fields. So do what you love to do and keep on doing it without fear.